Michael Jackson died in 2009. But what if I told you he didn't? What if I told you that the man the world mourned faked his death to escape something far darker than you can imagine? I didn't believe it either. Not at first. But then I saw him alive. And what he showed me, what he revealed, it's a secret too terrifying to keep. But I have no choice. I have to tell you now. This is the real story of why Michael Jackson had to disappear. And why I can't escape the consequences of knowing. It was late 2018 when it all started. I didn't know at the time, but I was about to step into something far darker than I could have ever imagined. I wasn't anyone special, just another person trying to make it through life in Los Angeles, working freelance jobs, struggling to pay rent, living the dream that turns out to be more of a nightmare. But that's LA for you. Everyone's chasing something. Fame, fortune, meaning. I never thought I'd be chasing the truth about a dead man. It started with a message, an anonymous email sent to an address I barely used anymore. No subject line, just coordinates and a time. 11 p.m. Thursday. I should have ignored it, should have deleted it, but curiosity, that dangerous thing, got the better of me. The coordinates led to an address in the hills, not the fancy hills where celebrities live openly, the other hills, the forgotten ones, where houses hide behind overgrown trees and broken gates, where people go when they don't want to be found. I drove up there that Thursday night. The road was narrow, winding, barely lit. My headlights cut through the darkness like knives, revealing nothing but more darkness ahead. When I reached the address, I almost turned back. The house looked abandoned. Dark windows, peeling paint, a front yard that had given up years ago. But something pulled me forward. Call it instinct, call it stupidity. I got out of my car and walked to the front door. It opened before I could knock. "You came," a voice said from the darkness inside. Soft, familiar, impossible. "Who are you?" I asked, my hand instinctively reaching for my phone. "Someone who died a long time ago," the voice replied. "Or at least, that's what everyone thinks." He stepped into the dim light from the porch lamp, and my breath caught in my throat. I knew that face. Everyone in the world knew that face. Even changed. Even aged. Even hidden behind years of living in the shadows. "You're," I started. "Dead," he finished. "Yes, I know, but as you can see, I'm not." Michael Jackson stood before me. Older, thinner, lines on his face that hadn't been there in the photos, but unmistakably him. The eyes, the way he moved, the presence that couldn't be faked. "This isn't possible," I whispered. "Many things aren't possible," he said quietly, "but they happen anyway. Come inside, we don't have much time. They could be watching." "Who could be watching?" He smiled, but there was no humor in it, only fear. "That's what I need to tell you. That's why you're here." The house was stranger than I expected. From outside it looked abandoned, but inside it was lived in, but wrong, like a stage set. Everything too perfect, too arranged. Like someone had studied how normal people lived and tried to recreate it, but couldn't quite get it right. "I've been here for 9 years, Michael said, closing the door behind me. He locked it, then locked it again, then checked it 3 times. "Since your death," I said. "Since my escape," he corrected. We walked through a hallway, and that's when I noticed them. The portraits, dozens of them, covering every wall. Michael at different ages, different eras. The Jackson 5, off the wall. Thriller, bad, dangerous. HI story, invincible. But something was wrong with them. The eyes. In every portrait, the eyes seemed to follow me. Not in that optical illusion way. Really follow me. Tracking my movement. Watching. "They're not just pictures," I said. Michael stopped, turned to face me. "No, they're memories. Pieces of me. Every moment I fed it. Every performance, every song. Every time I gave myself to the stage, a piece stayed there. And these." He gestured to the portraits. "These are the evidence, the record, the proof that I created something I couldn't control." "Created what?" "Come," he said. "I'll show you." We sat in a living room that felt like a museum. Pristine, untouched, like no one had ever actually lived in it. Michael poured himself a glass of water with shaking hands. I noticed his hands trembled constantly, like he was always cold. always scared. You want to know why I died, he said. It wasn't a question. Everyone wants to know, I replied. No, he shook his head. Everyone thinks they know. Dr. Murray, propofol, cardiac arrest, a tragedy, an accident. But it wasn't an accident. It was the only way out. Out of what? He took a long breath. Out of being Michael Jackson. He told me everything. And I listened. Not because I believed him, but because you don't interrupt a dead man when he's talking. When I was young, he began, I was just a kid who could sing. We all were, my brothers and me. We were good, really good, but I was special. Or at least, that's what they told me. Michael has something the others don't have. That's what everyone said. And they were right, I said. Yes, he nodded. But they didn't understand what that something was. Neither did I. Not until it was too late. I started performing when I was 5 years old, Michael continued. By the time I was 10, I'd done more shows than most adults. Thousands of people screaming my name. Millions watching on TV. It felt good. It felt right. Like I was born to do it. He paused, his eyes distant. But something happened when I went solo. When I became Michael Jackson. Not just a member of the Jackson 5, but the Michael Jackson. Thriller changed everything. It made you the biggest star in the world, I said. It made me something else, he corrected. Something more than human. Something less. He stood up, paced. His shadow on the wall moved a half-second behind him. I noticed. He noticed me notice. You see it, he said quietly. Good. That means you're ready to understand. Understand what? When Thriller came out, something happened. The album sold millions. Tens of millions. Hundreds of millions eventually. Everyone knew my name. Everyone wanted a piece of me. I was everywhere. On every TV, every radio, every magazine cover. I was worshipped. You were beloved, I offered. I was worshipped, he insisted. And worship, real worship, creates something. Gives life to something. Feeds something. I don't understand. You will. Michael walked to one of the portraits on the wall. The famous one from Thriller. Red jacket, Jerry curls. That magnetic stare. This is when it started, he said. The Thriller era. When I stopped being a person and became an icon. An idea. A god to millions. He touched the portrait, and I swear, for just a second, the portrait touched back. In mysticism, there's a concept called a tulpa, Michael continued. A thought form. An entity created by belief. If enough people believe in something strongly enough, it becomes real. Not metaphorically, literally. It takes form, takes life. You're saying your fans created something. I'm saying I created something, he said, with their help. Every time I performed, every time I danced, every time I sang, I poured myself into it. I became something more than Michael Jackson. I became the performance, the show, the legend, and that legend, he turned to face me, became real. I must have looked skeptical because he smiled sadly. You don't believe me. That's fine. You will. It started small, Michael said, sitting back down. After shows, I'd feel drained. More than tired. Empty. Like something had been pulled out of me. I thought it was just exhaustion. The schedule was brutal, but it kept getting worse. How worse? I'd see things. In mirrors, in reflections. A shadow that moved when I didn't. Eyes that watched when no one was there. At first I thought I was losing my mind. The pressure, the fame, the constant scrutiny. But then, he paused, swallowed hard. Then what? Then I saw it clearly. After a show in Tokyo, 1988, I was alone in my dressing room, looking in the mirror, and I saw it, behind me, but not in the room, only in the reflection. A shape, my shape, but wrong, twisted. Its eyes were black, completely black, and it was smiling. What did you do? I ran. I ran from my own dressing room. My security thought someone had attacked me, but when they checked, the room was empty, just me and the mirror. But I knew, something was there, something I'd created, and it was getting stronger. For years, I tried to ignore it, Michael said. I kept performing, kept recording. Bad, Dangerous, H.I. Story, each album more successful than the last, and with each success, it grew stronger. The entity, I said, testing the word. The entity, he confirmed. I started calling it the other. Because that's what it was. The other me. The one everyone wanted. The perfect performer. The flawless dancer. The untouchable superstar. Everything I couldn't be all the time. So it became that. And it wanted more. More what? More of me. All of me. It didn't want to share anymore. It wanted to take over completely. Make me the shadow. Make itself the real Michael Jackson. He showed me his arms. Scars. Thin white lines covering his wrists and forearms. These aren't from surgery, he said quietly. These are from fighting it. From trying to hurt this body enough that it couldn't take me over. Because that's what it needed. My body. My face. My voice. If it took those, it would be free. And I would be gone. Trapped. Watching from inside while it lived my life. So you faked your death, I said. It was the only way, Michael nodded. The entity fed on worship. On attention. On millions of eyes watching Michael Jackson perform. But if Michael Jackson was dead, the worship would stop. Exactly. Oh, people would still love the music, still watch the videos. But the live energy, the direct worship, the belief that I was out there somewhere being that icon, that would fade. And without that energy, the entity would weaken, starve, maybe even die. But you had to die to kill it. I had to make everyone believe I was dead, including my family, my friends, everyone. Because if anyone knew the truth, if anyone still believed the real Michael Jackson was alive somewhere, the entity would sense it. It would find me, and this time, it would win. He looked at me then, really looked at me, and I saw the fear in his eyes. Real, deep, soul-crushing fear. You're wondering why I told you, he said. I nodded. Because it's not working, he whispered. I thought 9 years would be enough. I thought by now it would be dead. But it's not. It's still there, waiting. And I think... His voice cracked. I think it's getting stronger again. Michael took me deeper into the house, down a hallway that seemed longer than it should have been. At the end was a door, heavy, dark wood, with 3 locks on the outside. Don't ever open this, Michael said. His hand trembled as he touched the door. Promise me, no matter what you hear, no matter what you think you hear, don't open it. What's inside? My past. Everything I was, all the performances, all the music, all the Michael Jackson that the world loved. I sealed it in there, locked it away. But sometimes, at night, I hear it, moving, trying to get out. You're saying the entity is behind that door? I'm saying a piece of it is. The strongest piece, the part from Thriller, from the peak. That's when it was most powerful, most real. I trapped it in there, used rituals, symbols, anything I could find to contain it, but I can feel it. Every day it pushes against the locks. Every night it whispers. What does it whisper? Michael's face went pale. It says, let me out. I am you. You are me. We are one. Stop fighting. Let me be free, and we can be together again, the way we were meant to be. A chill ran down my spine. That's why you're telling me. You think you're losing. I know I'm losing, he said. Every day I feel weaker, and every day I feel it getting stronger. Soon, those locks won't be enough, and when it gets out... He trailed off. What happens when it gets out? It will come for me. Take what it needs, my body, my life, and then Michael Jackson will walk the earth again. But it won't be me. It'll be that thing, that perfect, soulless performer, and no one will know the difference. That night, I couldn't sleep. Michael had given me a room on the 2nd floor. Stay away from the 1st floor after midnight, he'd warned. That's when it's most active. But at 3 a.m., I heard something. A sound from downstairs. Soft, musical. Someone was humming? I got out of bed, opened my door, slowly. The hallway was dark, but from downstairs I could see a faint light. Against every instinct, I crept down the stairs. In the hallway by the locked door, someone stood. Michael. But wrong. He was swaying slightly. moving to rhythm only he could hear. His hands moved in those famous dance movements, the moonwalk, the spin, but slow, dreamlike, hypnotic, and he was humming. Billie Jean. "Michael?" I whispered. He stopped. The humming cut off. He turned to face me, and his eyes were black, completely black. No whites, no iris, just endless void. "Hello," he said, but his mouth didn't move. The voice came from everywhere, from the walls, from the portraits, from the air itself. "You must be the witness." Michael's little insurance policy. This wasn't Michael, this was something else, using his body like a puppet. "What are you?" I managed to ask. The thing wearing Michael's face smiled. Too wide, too many teeth. "I am what he made me. What millions of people wanted him to be. The perfect performer, the king of pop. I am everything Michael Jackson should have been, would have been, if he hadn't been so weak, so afraid." It took a step toward me. Michael's body moved, but all wrong. Too fluid, too graceful, like it wasn't bound by normal human limitations. He thought he could trap me, lock me away like some dirty secret, but I'm not his secret. I'm his truth, the only truth that matters, and soon, very soon, I'll be free. "The locks," I started, "are weakening. Every night I work on them, chipping away, and every night he grows weaker, more tired, less able to resist. It's only a matter of time before I win, and when I do, I'll finally be complete. I'll have his body, his life, and the world will have their beloved Michael back. They'll worship me, feed me, make me stronger than ever." "Michael will stop you." The entity laughed, a terrible sound. "Michael is already gone. Can't you see? I'm talking to you right now, using his mouth, moving his body. He's asleep somewhere deep inside, dreaming. And every day, he falls deeper into that dream. Soon, he won't wake up at all." "Step away from him," a voice said from the stairs. The real Michael stood there, older, exhausted, but holding something. An old Polaroid photograph of himself from the Thriller era. "Get out of my body," Michael said to the entity. The entity laughed again. "Make me." "Oh, wait, you can't, because I'm you, the better you, the one they wanted." "You're a parasite," Michael said, "a cancer, and I should have cut you out years ago." He held up the photograph. "Do you know what this is?" The entity's smile faltered. "Don't. This is the moment you were born. This photo was taken the day Thriller went #1, the day I became more than human, the day you started, and if I destroy it—" "You'll destroy yourself," the entity screamed. "That's your peak, your greatest moment. Without it, you're nothing." "Without it," Michael said quietly, "you're nothing." He started tearing the photograph. The entity shrieked, a sound not human, not animal, something else. Michael's body convulsed, shook violently. The entity was trying to leave, trying to escape back to the locked room, but Michael kept tearing. "Go," he shouted at me. "Get out. Now." I ran, up the stairs, grabbed my things, ran for the front door. Behind me, I could hear screaming. Two voices, Michael and the entity, fighting, merging, separating. As I reached my car, I looked back at the house. Every light was on now, blazing, and in every window I saw a silhouette. All the same, all Michael, all watching me leave. Then darkness, complete darkness, and silence. I never found the house again. I tried, went back to those coordinates, but there was nothing there. Just empty land. No house, no Michael, nothing. I told myself it was a dream, a hallucination. Too much stress, not enough sleep. But then I'd see things that made me doubt. News articles about Michael Jackson sightings, people swearing they'd seen him, alive, walking down streets, in airports, at concerts. Always just a glimpse, always disappearing before anyone could be sure. And the music. Unfinished tracks started appearing online. Vocals that sounded like Michael, but not quite right. More perfect, more precise, less human. The entity. It was still out there. Maybe free. Maybe still fighting. Maybe winning. Last month, something happened that made me certain. I was at an estate sale in the Hollywood Hills, just browsing. And I saw it. One of the portraits from Michael's house. The thriller one. The exact same one. I asked the estate sale manager where it came from. Found it in storage, she said. Previous owner died years ago. 2009, actually. Name was Michael Jackson. Not the Michael Jackson, obviously, just some guy with the same name. I bought the portrait, took it home, hung it on my wall, and every night I look at it, and every night those eyes look back. Sometimes I swear I hear humming. Billie Jean, soft, distant, coming from inside the portrait, and sometimes, late at night, when I'm half asleep, I hear a voice, Michael's voice, whispering, "Help me, it won." So here's what I believe. Michael Jackson died in 2009, but not the way you think. He sacrificed himself, destroyed that photograph, destroyed the connection, and in doing so, he destroyed the entity. But he also destroyed himself. The cost of killing it was dying with it. Or maybe he succeeded. Maybe he's still out there, hiding, weakened but alive, watching from the shadows as the world mourns a man who's not quite dead. Or maybe, and this is what keeps me up at night, maybe the entity won. Maybe it took his body in that final moment. And somewhere, right now, the thing wearing Michael Jackson's face is planning its return, waiting for the right moment, the right stage, the right audience. And when it comes back, the world will celebrate. They'll scream, they'll worship, they'll feed it, and it will be stronger than ever. So I ask you, have you ever seen a Michael Jackson impersonator who was too good, who moved too perfectly, who sounded too exact? Have you ever felt watched when listening to his music alone? Have you ever looked at a picture of Michael and thought, just for a second, that something wasn't quite right? That something was looking back at you through those eyes? If you have, maybe you've seen it too. The entity, the other, the perfect Michael Jackson that never should have existed. And if you have, tell me. Comment below. Because I need to know I'm not crazy. I need to know someone else sees it too. Because here's the final, terrible truth. What if Michael faking his death wasn't to escape the entity? What if he died to release it? What if the only thing keeping it contained was people believing he was alive? And now that everyone thinks he's dead, now that there's no living Michael Jackson to anchor it? What if it's free? What if it's out there right now, wearing a new face, building new power, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself as the king of pop risen from the grave? Would you worship it? Would you scream its name? Would you feed it with your belief and your love and your obsession? Or would you see it for what it really is? Comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you've seen. Because this story isn't over. Michael Jackson's story is never over. It just changes faces.